We went on a Mediterranean cruise, and one of the ports we docked at for a day was Savona, Italy. Savona is charming and is easily walkable from the ship in a reasonable amount of time. Come with me as we check it out. Our ship has just arrived in Savona. We are going to go out and explore the city. After getting off the ship, our first destination was La Torretta, or Torre Leon Pencaldo, which is just a 4-minute walk from the port over a swing-span bridge. It is a medieval tower that is 75 feet high. It was built in the 13th century as part of the city's defense system. It was later named after Leon Pencaldo, an explorer from Savona who participated in the first circumnavigation of the globe led by Magellan. The fisherman's statue also stands at the edge of the harbor. La Torretta is the symbol of the town of Savona. Another 4-minute walk takes us to Piazza del Brondale, where the Brondale Tower stands at 164 feet high. This is the tallest and the oldest tower in the city, with record of it dating back to 1178, and mystery surrounding when it actually originated. The Freedom Declaration of Savona was signed here in 1191. At the top of the tower is Campanassa, the bell you can hear ringing every hour and half hour. Beside the Brondale Tower are 2 shorter towers, the Corsi and Guarnero Towers. Behind the Brondale Tower is the ruins of 3 other towers, the Riario, Gambarana, and Bresciano Towers. You can enter Brondale Tower on Saturdays from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. March through November with a guided tour. Unfortunately, our visit was not during this time, so we were not able to climb the tower and see the bell up close or enjoy the views of the city from up high. Next, a 5-minute walk took us to the Priamar Fortress, which was erected in 1542 to defend the city as well as maintain control of the local territory. At one point over the years, it was used as a jail. Giuseppe Mazzini, a revolutionary and champion for the unification of Italy, was jailed here in 1830 and 1831, and his cell can be visited by booking a tour over the phone. Entrance to the fortress itself is free, although there are other tours and events that you can pay for, and there is also a museum on site. We toured the fortress before the museum was opened, so we didn't see the museum. We took the elevator down to the lower level and walked through what appeared to be an exhibit under construction. There was also an exhibit on the lawns of the Priamar complex that featured 8 ceramic balls made by artists primarily from Savona. The view of the city from the fortress was spectacular, and we could see the 2 towers that we had just visited, as well as the Savona Cathedral where we would head to next. We also had a great view of the sea and our cruise ship waiting for us at the port. Determined to grow even if it's sideways.
cacti growing on the side of the fortress.
It was only another 4-minute walk to the Cappella Sistina, or the Sistine Chapel of Savona, which is located in the same complex with the Duomo of Savona, or Cathedral of Our Lady of the Assumption, as well as Pope Pius VII's apartment, where he was held prisoner by Napoleon for almost 3 years, beginning in 1809, and the Treasure Museum. The cost is €10 to visit all 4 places. You're allowed to visit the Sistine Chapel without a guide, but the other 3 places require a guided tour. Our tour guide was very knowledgeable and very passionate about everything he was showing us. This was the highlight of the day for me. The Cappella Sistina was built from 1480 to 1483. Organ pipes are hidden behind painted curtains. The ceiling was painted by Paolo Girolamo Brusco, nicknamed Brachetto, when the chapel underwent renovations. Pope Pius VII was held captive by Napoleon, who wanted him to give up his temporal power. When the Pope didn't yield, Napoleon invaded the Papal States and took the temporal power of the papacy by force. The Pope excommunicated him, which led to the Pope's captivity in Savona. The apartment that we toured included dining quarters, a small study or office, a bedroom, a servant's quarters, and a place where the Pope could view what was going on down in the cathedral. He could not, however, communicate with members of his church, except through an elaborate secret network that smuggled his messages out of Savona. The Savona Cathedral, or Cathedral of Our Lady of the Assumption, dedicated to the Assumption of the Virgin Mary, was built in the 16th century to replace the previous cathedral, which was built in the 9th century. Some of St. Valentine's remains are at the cathedral, but are only on display the week before Valentine's Day. Many churches, however, claim to have part of St. Valentine's remains, including his skull, which is on display in Rome at the same church that houses the Mouth of Truth. And fragments of his skull are also on display at Church of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary in Poland. A 1-minute walk took us from the Savona Cathedral to the Ceramics Museum, which has an entrance fee of €5. It includes ceramic art from the Renaissance time through the 20th century and is one of the most important museums of ceramic art in Italy. The museum has 4 floors and nearly 1,000 pieces of art. I had heard about 2 palazzos that I wanted to see while we were there. The first was Palazzo dei Pavoni, or Palace of the Peacocks, which was built in 1910 by Alessandro Martinengo, who took his inspiration from Gaudi in his famous architecture in Barcelona. The second was Palazzo delle Palle, or Palace of the Balls, because of the 6 copper balls on the roof, which was also created by Alessandro Martinengo between 1910 and 1911. One of the most unique things about Savona is the ringing of the bell in Piazza Mameli at 6 o'clock. I was sad we had to miss this because our cruise ship left the port at 6 p.m. Every night at 6 p.m., the bell of the War Memorial chimes 21 times. This has occurred every night for over 96 years. The bell tolling pays homage to the fallen soldiers of all wars. All traffic and pedestrians come to a halt as the bell tolls 21 times, as they have since September 18, 1927. We got to see the swing span bridge in action when we headed back to the dock. It was open so that a boat could pass through to the marina. We waited as the bridge slowly moved back into place, allowing all of us to pass from either side.
The bridge is rotating. Keep away from the forbidden area.
Our last stop in Savona was the All About Apple Museum. Entrance is €7, and it includes Apple computers and game consoles starting from 1976 until present day. This museum is located right next to the cruise ship dock. The computers are turned on and operable, whether you want to play a video game, type out an essay, or write music. course, we also ate while we were in Savona, including gelato. In fact, we enjoyed gelato in Zelo Gelateria, which is in the Palace of the Balls. We enjoyed some pizza and french fries at a kebab pizzeria, and then we returned to the ship. If there had been more time, we could have visited the home of Christopher Columbus, one of the most famous former residents of Savona. One of his former homes is a cottage situated in the Savona Hills. I guess that will have to wait till next time.